Good morning, culés. Un día de party. It is decision day, my friends. Barcelona taking on Inter Milan in a must-win in the Champions League group stage. 1-0 loss at Milan means we have to win today at the Camp Nou. In today's episode of Wake Up and Barca, we'll be going over the lineups. We'll talk predictions. We'll talk all the news going into today's match, Barcelona hosting Inter Milan. If you want to be a part of the conversation, subscribe to the channel so you can chat with your fellow culés. And let's get the energy up as we get ready for Barcelona versus Inter Milan. Let's kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
Okay, getting a little tongue-tied right off the start. No big deal. Let me lower my chair down a little bit too. There we go. Well, no, that's a little too low. Right there. Okay, well, maybe a little higher. Okay, there we go. Maybe a little higher. Okay, there we go. I know, big difference. Big difference. Anyway, starting off rambling, folks. I'm excited. I woke up like an hour before my alarm this morning because it is Barcelona hosting Inter Milan in a must-win Champions League match. Like I said, last week we lost 1-0. So let's talk about that real quick. Dominated possession, 72%, but the shots on target, not there. Only 2 for the entire match, despite 13 corners. So after that match, we are sitting in third place behind Inter. We need a win at home to get level on points, and then we'll be above them based off of goal differential. And as long as we get more than a 1-0 victory, we'll be ahead on the head-to-head matchups as well. That match is, of course, today, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Convert that for your time zone, wherever you're watching from around the world. We will be doing a live watch-along right here on the Undefeated channel. We're going to be going live about 15 minutes before kickoff. We'll have the lineups. We'll start getting the energy up so we can cheer on the Blaugrana, which to what will surely be a victory at home at the Camp Nou. 3 points against Inter Milan, much needed. Like I said, folks, we're going to go over lineups, we're going to go over predictions, but first let me turn to the chat, see how everybody's doing, and then we'll go over a little bit of news, and we'll get to the starting lineup and predictions in just a little bit. Good morning to everybody watching on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you drop a like if you're enjoying today's content, or if you're just enjoying the content on the channel in general. Show me some love, show me some support, drop a like, and if you're watching on TikTok, consider going to my profile, clicking the link in the in my bio. That's how you say those words. Come on over to the Undefeated Mustache John YouTube channel. You can get the full experience here on Wake Up in Barca. With that out of the way, let's see who we got in here with us. Turning on the live chat now. Dr. Yui, good morning to you, sir. Fish Tanks Aqua, love the name. Says, Barca winning today with the big strong arms. Love to hear it. Jean Nam, good morning to you. Glenn, Felipe, Chris, Mendo, hello, and welcome. Pancho Mike, good to see you, brother. We got some new faces. We got some regulars in here. Grimash, love the name. Good to see you, brother. Says, hi from Poland. Hello right back at you, good sir. Felipe says, must learn how to break the defenses from teams that just sit back. That's what we're going to be seeing today, folks. I don't expect much different than what we saw in this first match. If we go to the lineups from the 1-0 defeat, look at this. Yeah, it's a 3-back, but really when you drop back Darmian and DeMarco, that's a 5-back, folks. They're playing 5 in the back with these 3 midfielders and either Martinez or Correa dropping back in. Now, for today's match, I do think it's going to be Martinez and Dzeko up there, which means even more bunker defense, which means 2 big, strong bodies up top for Inter Milan, just waiting for the outlet, waiting to hold that ball up, see if they can get a counterattack going. So what we have to do is be mindful and make use of our possession. We can't just hold onto the ball for 90 minutes and do nothing with it. We have to be efficient. We have to be intentional. We have to put the pressure on Inter Milan. We got to flood their goal with shots, get an early lead, take the pressure off of us, force Milan to come out and play a little bit so they don't just sit in that bunker defense. Okay, that's what we need to avoid. Anyway, MT Fam, hello, says good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Love from Australia. Okay, all the way on the other side of the world. Hopefully we'll see you for the live match later this afternoon. Andrese, good morning to you. Glad to see you. We got a lot of the regulars here today, and I'm seeing some regulars pop up on on TikTok as well. Too many platforms starting with a T. Anyway, I digress, my friends. Let's talk a little bit of news going into today's match. There's a couple of pointers that we want to bring up before we go over the lineup and predictions for Barcelona versus Inter Milan, starting with this fun little fact from Barça Center. Sergio Busquets has seen yellow in each of his last 5 games. And if he gets a yellow against Inter, he'll miss the Bayern Munich match at home. Womp, womp, womp. Folks, not good. Is this a sign that Busquets is maybe no longer up to snuff defensively in the midfield? Not like he was ever a pace master, okay? It's not like he was chasing down wingers on the counterattack sideline to sideline. But the yellow cards, to me, is a sign that he's not getting to where he needs to be positionally, particularly on the counterattack, and he's having to make these professional fouls leading to the yellow cards. So Xavi's got to figure out some way to cover up that exposure if we're going to continue to play with Busquets in that center defensive mid role. He is the best pivot we have on the team. But on the defensive side of the ball, could a Kessié or a Frankie de Jong give us some different options? Could a Kessié or a Frankie de Jong in that center defensive mid-role mean that Pedri or Gavi get to push forward a little bit more, not worried so much about the defensive side of the ball? Just say it. With Busquets sitting on yellow cards, and if he gets one more, misses the Bayern match, I'm hoping we get an early lead, 1-2 goals, get in the second half, and then Busquets, get him off the pitch so that he can be ready for Bayern. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I hope happens. Again, we'll see, folks. Big match against Inter Milan, but early lead, get Busquets out of there, keep him safe, secure for that home leg against Bayern. I think that's what we need to do. Let me know your thoughts on that. Should we consider resting Busquets? Is that crazy? I think that's crazy. Don't even answer that. That's crazy. You can't rest Busquets. Can't do it. Just can't do it. Mike Aragon, hello, sir, says, shoot, sorry I'm late. Good morning. That's okay. Hey, this isn't a business meeting. You can come in whenever you want. You can watch this on replay if you want to. All right. Glad you're here, part of the conversation. But if you are watching this on replay, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I read all of them, every single one. I may not reply to all of them, but I read them. I drop a like. If you ask me a question, I certainly do reply. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions, your comments down in the chat there. Chris E says, I think the tactical fouls show that our defenders are pushing up more and getting involved with the play. Oftentimes, Boosie is part of our final line when we push forward. Amen to that, Chris. And I think, again, putting him in that position is leaving him vulnerable. He doesn't quite have the pace to cover sideline to sideline. So I love Boosie, particularly for that pivot role that he fills like nobody else. But defensively, starting to get a little bit worried. Speaking of worried, Pacho Mike says, are we worried about Lukaku? Is he playing in this match? I actually didn't even think to look and check and see. Let's jump over to Twitter and let's type in Lukaku and let's see what kind of news we get, because he was not available for the last match. Let's see. Latoro and Lukaku. None of this is very relevant. Let's see. We'll go Lukaku injury update. Might be one of those rare times when Google actually has better news results. Okay, one day ago, Lukaku won't be back from injury until Inter Serie A. Let's finish the headline. No, go away. I can just read it until it's clashed with Fiorentina. Okay, cool. So we don't have to worry about Lukaku, actually. He is not going to be back for this match. So, moving on. No worries whatsoever. One more thing. Well, hang on. Let me turn to the chat first. King Kong, love the name. I love some of the names that you all have. I know that obviously that is derivative, but love it. King Kong says, John, as a Bayern fan, I think you guys have to win today because if you draw, most likely you won't make it out of the group. Very true. Mathematically, it is not a must win, but practically, logically, realistically, it is a must win for Barcelona. We got to get 3 points. If we get a draw, then we're hoping for Victoria and Bayern Munich to take care of Inter Milan, and I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't see it happening, folks. So, with that out of the way, let's jump over another little piece of news here. Some changes made to processing tickets for this Inter Milan-Barcelona match. Of course, Barcelona humiliated last year with the invasion of Frankfurt fans. It was a whiteout at the Camp Nou. It felt like we were playing at the Bernabeu. So, to avoid a repeat, Barcelona have put forward these rules for the upcoming Inter Milan match. Let's take a look. Only physical season tickets for the 22-23 will be valid. Both the stadium and for parking. Access with digital versions not permitted. It is recommended to get to the stadium as early as possible, blah, blah, blah. The use of public transit, blah, blah, blah. Names on the tickets will be checked with ID documentation. If they do not coincide, then the corresponding ticket will be withdrawn. Access to areas for home fans will not be permitted to those wearing Inter colors. Make sure to have your documentation ready before arriving at the access gates and stadium gates to avoid congestion. So Barcelona taking some measures here to avoid what we saw last year, again with Frankfurt taking over the Camp Nou. Barcelona fans just saying, oh, here's my ticket, here's my ticket, here's my ticket. Go ahead, you go watch the game, you go support your team. I'll just sit at home and watch us lose. Not cool. Not cool, culés. You got to do better than that. Have to do better than that. So, new rules imply, hopefully going to be a filled Camp Nou with Barcelona supporters. That's what we're aiming for here, folks. That's what we're aiming for. I'm seeing in the chat on TikTok, we got some shouts for Kessié to get the start. I'm not sure about that. He's just coming back from injury, didn't get any playing time over the weekend. Frankie de Jong did come back from injury, did get a little bit of playing time, but I'm not sure. But you know what? Since it was brought up, I think it is time we can go ahead and begin to talk about Barcelona's starting lineup for the match against Inter. But let's first review who's injured, who's unavailable. We got a couple people that have returned since the last match against Inter, but we are still without Memphis, Bellerin, Christensen, Araujo, and Koundé. Big holes being left, particularly in our center back position. That's our top 3 center backs, folks. Right there. That's our top 3. All out. So we will make do. We got plenty of other options. Not ideal, but we'll get it together, folks. All right? So a starting 11. What's it going to look like going up against Inter Milan? Of course, it begins in the back with the trusty Ter Stegen. Number 1 keeper in Europe right now. Wouldn't take anybody else between the posts for Barcelona. Right back. Shocker. I'm going Roberto. Option for Balde. Sure. Option to go 3-back. Sure. We'll talk about some of those. But I think if you, again, read the trend of what Xavi's doing in terms of rotating his lineups, even with these injuries, I'm going Roberto at right back. I'm going Eric Garcia, who has been tremendous. The intensity, the passion that he's bringing, whether he starts or coming off the bench, it doesn't matter. Eric Garcia, for me, playing phenomenal football and could give us the spark that we need on that defensive side to have the energy to take over Inter Milan. He's going to be playing alongside Gerard Piqué. Again, I know we have some options. Might go with a 3-back. Alonso did play the left center back position over the weekend. Maybe Alonso gets a start over Piqué. Maybe even gets a start over Garcia, but I don't think that's likely. I'm fairly confident, I'll say, that we are going with Garcia, Piqué, and Roberto, which leaves Balde available to go in at left back. Again, Marcos Alonso has been starting left back for Champions League, but he got the start at center back over the weekend. So, since Jordi Alba started left back, Marcos Alonso started center back, I think, again, reading between the lines, Balde left back could be the option for us. Continuing to move forward, Busquets, you know he's going to be there. I joked a little bit about maybe benching Busquets so he could be available for the Bayern Munich match without getting a yellow card in this match against Inter, but you gotta win this one first. Gotta win this one first. So hopefully we get an early lead, like I said, and then maybe sometime around halftime, get Busi out of there so we don't risk that yellow card. He'll be playing alongside Pedri and Gavi. I know some of you are going to be shouting for Frankie de Jong, shouting for Kessié, but both just coming back from injury. Kessié was injured, what? Was it over the weekend? I think it was over the weekend. No, the match before that. Was it Inter Milan? I digress. I think he got injured against Inter, didn't play over the weekend. Either way, Frankie de Jong did come back for the weekend's match against Celta Vigo, got a little bit of playing time, but did not look comfortable at all, my friends. So I think after seeing really one of the best performances that we've seen this year from the Gavi-Pedri combo, we're going to see it again against Inter. Maybe later on in the match we see Kessié and de Jong, but they're not fully fit. They're not 90 minutes ready, and so I don't think they get the start. You know who does start, though? Rafinha. He needs one. He needs a goal, a golazo, a left boot rocket early on from Rafinha would be phenomenal. He needs it. Barcelona needs it. Let's get him started on the right wing to get a left foot curler in early. He's going to be playing up top with Dembele, and of course, no surprises here, Lewandowski. Talking about needing goals. Lewandowski has gone 2 matches now, maybe 3, without scoring a goal. So he is due. He's gotten some early criticism about not stepping up in big matches. I've even had some Bayern Munich fans come on to the channel and say, in big matches, Lewandowski, that's kind of been his MO, not really stepping up when we needed him. That's from Bayern fans. I'm shaking that off. I'm wiping that off. I'm much more optimistic. I think Lewandowski recognizes that if he wants the Ballon d'Or, he's got to step up in these moments. So I'm expecting big things from Lewandowski. And then if we need to, we can turn to the bench. We've got Jordi Alba, we've got Alonso, we'll have Pablo Torre, Frankie and Kessié, like I mentioned. We'll have Marc Casado coming up from Barça Athletic. We'll have Ferran Torres, and we'll have Ansu Fati should we need him. Again, players that might sneak in there. Ansu Fati could potentially start over Rafinha. Balde could start on the right and Alonso on the left. But again, reading into the lineups over the weekend and balancing that with what we saw against the first match against Inter, I feel pretty confident about this starting lineup. I think Lewandowski, like I said, has to have a big match. I think Gavi has to show up today. Has to show up. And then our defense, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a case where we are pressing for a majority of the game. Inter Milan are going to be looking for those outlet passes, just dump it up top to the big, strong Martinez or Dzeko. And so our center backs in particular are going to be marking one-on-one for a lot of this match as we push forward and look for the win. That's why, again, an early goal will be crucial for Barcelona. I think it happens. I think we get the win. I'm going for a goal from Pedri, 2 from Lewandowski in a 3-1 win at the Camp Nou. Barcelona over Inter Milan. We regain second place in the group, and we never look back. Smooth sailing from there. We go on to Bayern Munich. We go on to Victoria Plzen. Easy peasy. So, Inter Milan coming into the Camp Nou. Barcelona getting a 3-1 victory, and we don't look back. Lock it in. I'm going to turn to the chat. I'm going to get your predictions. Let me know also if you're watching on TikTok. Let me know in the chat. And please consider clicking the link in my profile. Hop on over and check us out on the YouTubes. You get all the action, all the glitz and the glamour, all the bells and whistles. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I'll turn to the chat. I'll see what your thoughts are. Get your predictions. Again, I'm going 3-1 Barcelona. Let me know what you think, folks. Flash, how we doing, sir? Oh, we also got EM. What's up? EM Barça, it's good to see you are alive, my friend down in Florida. I trust that things are hopefully copacetic down there, that things aren't too chaotic. I hope you and your loved ones are all good, my man. What else? Glenn says, praying that Balde starts. He brings so much to the team. Left side or right side, I think he gets the start. My gut is telling me he's going to start on the left-hand side and we're going to go with Roberto on the right. Could be wrong. Could be wrong about that. If Marcus Alonso slides in, it could be for Roberto and then Balde goes on the right. It's a possibility. I'd say like a 20-ish% possibility that might happen. Mike says Gavi should run his mouth to create tension and get Inter mentally distracted. Good strategy. Sure, we could go for that. Gavi, of course, getting in their heads a little bit. Bastoni posting that picture on Instagram, dragging him. Really, he wasn't dragging him. He pulled him down, and then Gavi fell while he still had a fistful of his jersey. Anyway, turn this here a little bit. There we go. Anyway, that was too much. Right. There we go. That's perfect. Anyway, Anzoni Capo says, did you hear about Conte? Yes, Conte out of contract at the end of the summer. Might come to Barcelona on a free. Also looking at Jorginho on a free. Of the two, I would much rather have Conte. I think he still has some legs left in those, 32, 33-year-old, that 33-year-old body of his. But I'm a fan of Conte. Anyway, would have liked to get him 4 years ago. Anyway. I'm turning to the chat, see who we got. EM says, if Lewandowski flops, I'm done. Oh, that's hilarious. Someone asking to join my live on TikTok. No, thank you. If you want to join me on live, message me first. Don't just pop in, all right? Because we don't know each other. So I appreciate you reaching out to make the connection. But send me a message, follow me, send me a message, or hit me up on Instagram, Twitter. We'll chat if you want to do a collaboration. That's the funny thing about TikTok, is anybody can just request to actually show up and join your live. You have to accept it, thankfully, so you don't have people just jumping in all willy-nilly. But I digress. Here we are, folks. Get your predictions in the chat. Barcelona versus Inter Milan. We are going to be live with the watch-along party, like I said, later today, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Convert that for your time zone. We got culés watching from all over the world. I'm excited to cheer on the Blaugrana with you. Speaking of summer transfer rumors, this is so dumb. I don't even want to talk about this. This is so stupid. But apparently, Kylian Mbappe has asked to leave PSG in January as his relationship with the club has broken. So right away, the internet going crazy, putting Kylian Mbappe in a Barça kit. Folks, here's what I'll say. Calm down. 1, Mbappe not leaving in January. 2, not coming to Barcelona. Can't afford him whatsoever. Can't afford the transfer fee. Can't afford the salary. It ain't gonna happen. Everybody can just relax with these Kylian Mbappe rumors. It's like we have Champions League. We are a month away from the World Cup, and there's nothing else to talk about except, Mbappe's unhappy. Where's he going to go in January? Nowhere. He's not going anywhere. Clickbait, if I've ever seen clickbait. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Anyway. Didn't even want to talk about it, but got to touch on it sometimes. Anyway, one more piece of news here. This from Fabrizio Romano. Happy news for culés, fans of Andres Iniesta. He tells Gazzetta on his future, I'll continue at Vissel Kobe for another year, and then we'll see. I would love to return to Barca. It's my home, but I still don't know in what way. Head coach, sports director, or something like that. All right, I'll take it. I'll take Iniesta any way, shape, or form. Bring him back to the club. Just like Dani Alves, just having him around, I think will be beneficial to the club. So get him in here, absolutely. Midway says $300 million for Mbappe is crazy. Yeah, amen to that. It's one player. Look at what happened. Look at the way that Barcelona were able to rebuild their club after passing on Haaland. Not saying that I wouldn't have loved to have Haaland on the team, but sometimes making that kind of investment on one player really shackles you down. You can't spread out those finances and build the club that you need to build. So, just saying. Runtun, hello, says Barca will win if they lead sooner in the first half. That's what we're calling for, right? We need an early goal from Barcelona. I don't care if it's ugly. I don't care if it's an own goal. Barcelona getting the lead in the first half, I think will get them the 3 points. Getting a goal early means Inter Milan can't just sit back, can't play bunker defense like we saw in the first leg. So that's going to be crucial for Barcelona. We got to be creative on the wings. We have to be able to run our midfielders through the middle of the pitch, and we got to get a goal early. Those are the keys to success here. I am nervous, though. I am nervous. Felipe says Mbappe is a headache. Yes, he is. Chris E says, during his time at Chelsea, Conte has missed 76 games. I don't think we want another injury-prone French player in our squad. Ay. Chris coming in hot with the stats, but how many years was he at Chelsea? Fill me in there, because 76 games is a lot. But I don't know if it's quite on the Dembele level quite yet. Good stat, though, Chris. Very good stat. Anzoni says, special donation if we win 3-0 today. Okay, all right. I'm assuming you're putting down a little bit of a bet there, and you're going to trickle down some of those winnings. So, rooting for you, buddy. Pancho Mike says, when would you press the panic button if it's still tied 0-0 halftime? Don't wait. If it is 0-0 at halftime, go for it. Go all out. You don't want to get into the last 15 minutes desperate for a goal where Inter Milan get to just leave Dzeko and Lautaro up top waiting for a counterattack. Can't have that situation. So if we do not have the lead at halftime, bonk, hit the panic button, change things up, throw the kitchen sink at Inter Milan. You got to just go for it at that point. Gongati says, probably this is going to be a 0-0 draw. They'll park the bus, which is going to be tough to break. In Xavi, we trust. In Xavi, we trust, my friends. He's got to figure it out. He's got to figure out how to break down a bunker defense, how to break down a 5 in the back. It is a true test for Barcelona, but we got to do it. We got to do it. Anyway, only Juan, good to see you, brother, says, who does Barcelona play finishing second place in the group stage, or what are the options? It's still a draw, right? If I remember correctly, yeah. Once you get out of the group stage, I think Champions League knockout stage 2023. I'm pretty sure they do a full draw. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Could be misremembering. My brain's not exactly firing on all cylinders right now. But preliminary rounds, first qualifying round, Yeah, I'm like 90% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but it's not that Barcelona have their opponent set up already. A little warm, actually. Take off his robe. Getting a little bit of a warm fall here. It's November. Excuse me, I mean, it's October. I'm a month ahead already. It's October, which means fall here in the U.S., but it's been warm. It's been like 70 degrees. So a little bit of a sticky morning. Anyway, I digress. Jamel says this might be like the second game when we played Benfica. Don't like that. Grimash says, my predictions, Barca is winning by 2 goals and not losing a goal. Okay, so 2-0 to Barcelona, according to Grimash. Thabo, hello to you, sir. Good morning. Glenn says, yep, it's a draw after group stages. Okay, thank you, Glenn. I was sitting here questioning myself. I was like, did they change that? Do they seed the pots already? But no, it is a live draw. Midway says the draw happens late January for the knockout stages. That's what I thought. Okay. Good. Gongati says, bro, you will look like Joshua Kimmich without the mustache. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. If you see it, cool, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure on that one. My hair is getting wild. Look at all this. Look at all this hair. Anyway, folks. Glenn says, I see it. Okay. If you guys see it, cool. BB says, I am ready for a Europa banger. Get out of here. Not 2 years in a row. Not going to happen. It was, 20 years in between Barcelona's Europa League stints? Let's hope it's at least another 20 before we wind up back there. Not fun. It was not fun going into Europa League. I can tell you that. You know what's funny, though, is that while a majority of you are here enjoying your mornings, connecting with your fellow culés, enjoying the anticipation of the upcoming match. There's some people that are watching that are just here to hate, just here to be negative, which is just it's a weird way to spend your time. That's all. Trolls come and go, so it really doesn't affect the channel. It doesn't really impact the conversation whatsoever. But there's a bunch of just doorknob lickers coming in like, oh, Barcelona, Hala Madrid, oh, remember Frankfurt, Europa League. Okay, cool. Do trolls have friends? I guess that's my question. It's got to be hard to make friends as a troll, which is why, again, it's a silly way to spend your time. I encourage all of you to be, one, more creative, but then also just more positive with your energy. There's no reason to spread hate, to spread negativity, to strangers on the internet. It's a weird thing to do. Just saying. But you live your life. Anyway, folks. Anyway, Europa League. Oh, 8-2. Oh. That's funny. Anyway. Mike Aragon says, ESPN is a troll nation. They have nothing to do but speculate for clickbait. Yeah, ESPN is basically trash. They are hell-bent on creating social media platforms, YouTube and the like, that mimic what content creators are doing right now. If you hop on YouTube and go onto ESPN's page, you'll see live reaction to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, Craig Burley and Scotty Nichols and whatever, their takes are garbage, hot garbage. Like, you played the game. That's the only reason why you have those jobs. You're not giving any sort of insight. You're not giving any sort of actual hot takes. It's just Craig Burley being a grumpy old man and Steven Nichols being clueless. Live reaction from ESPN crew, the ESPN FC guys. Get out of here. Get out of here. Anyway, I digress. I'm sitting here being negative for no reason. So, let's turn things around, okay? Another reminder, we are live here today. Later on, Barcelona hosting Inter Milan. 3 p.m. kickoff. Convert that for your time zone from around the world. We'll be live about 15 minutes before that. And then that's it. We'll go over lineups. We'll reiterate predictions. We'll get our energy up for this big match, folks. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I hope you can come and hang out with us for the live watch along. And I think that's going to just about do it for today. Fabo says, indeed, it's strange. You'd never find me in a chat room of a football channel I don't support. Support Barca, click Barca. Amen to that. Like, I would never go into a Real Madrid channel just be like, oh, Messi's better. 4-0. I would never do that. Like, the people that go out of their way to troll, to make fun, to be negative, it just doesn't make sense to me. Never has, never will. So that's why I'm glad that we have the Stash Squad here, which is a community of positivity. We are culés from around the world that come together to support the badge and support each other in good times and bad. So if you have not joined us yet, subscribe to the channel. Come hang out with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Live Barcelona news on Wake Up and Barca. We have some good conversation while we start our day with a little caffeine, going over the Barcelona news. And of course, we're live for all the Barcelona matches here on the Undefeated channel. So come hang out with us later today. Inter Milan hosting Barcelona. One more time, thank you to everyone watching on TikTok. Again, jump over to my profile, click the link in the bio, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Undefeated Mustache John, and all of you watching on YouTube, smash that like button, and I will see you later today for the Inter Milan match, my friends. Must win, very exciting. I'm going to try to go and do some work and spend my day and not be fully focused on this match, but I can tell you a little secret, it's not going to happen. All right? Anyway, go out there, have a wonderful day. I'll see you in just a little bit. High fives and hugs to anybody who wants them. Let's go, Visca Barca. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride, my friends.